Okay, now the moment that a lot of you are waiting for. What is changing with documentation? Um, Not much is changing. There are some things you're going to have to add in there just for billing purposes that we want to be able to record. So when documenting a telemental health visit, it's not much different from documentation for an on-site in-person visit. Templates have been created for telemental health. If you do not know how to access those, we'll go ahead and show you now how to do that. And when you document a telemental health visit, the following must be included in all of your notes. A start time and a stop time, a session duration, a sentence to indicate that the patient has given their verbal or written consent to a telemental health service, and documentation of the means. So I'm talking about like audio communication only or audio visual. Audio visual is the preferred method, and the session may not be billable if it is not. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and jump into Athena and show you how to add these templates to some different text macros that even exist for you. So one second here and we'll get into Athena. Okay guys, so we are now in Athena. I have a test patient here. We're in the testing environment. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this person's, or this fake person's rather, chart. I'm gonna go to exam. And I am going to show you what needs to be in here, some just different ways to get to it. So on the therapist end, if you're one of the people providing therapy, when you're in your HPI, if you're free texting, do whatever you need to do. However, when we go over to the BH established visit, in this template, there is in the modality telemedicine, individual present, offsite, and then you can go through here. We will need to make a note, perhaps here, that this was audio, can't spell, audio visual communication. We do have consent documented now on the client's chart, so you will not need to type that in there because the teleconsent form does exist. The only other thing that you would need to do is document start and stop time. So to do that, you're going to want to hit period. But when you do that, if you see this star, you know that you're in a text macro field. You're going to press D, click on duration, and then you get a start time and end time and a total time. So you want to be sure that makes it in there. If you're a psychiatrist or a nurse practitioner, I know that as at least as we're talking, there is not a progress note template that's established, but we're working to get those created. So do whatever free text you want. Just make sure that you indicate that it was a, excuse me, an audio visual visit, and that the patient is offsite, and you're going to want to get that duration in there. If any of you feel the need to make a comment that there is consent, you can say consent was given and on record, right? So that's kind of the minimum to the visit. Just want to pop back over to the policy, start stop time, individual is given consent, and documentation of audio or visual means. So at a minimum, that is what is needed in your documentation when it comes to writing the note. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and jump into the next section for the billing and coding procedures for telemental health.